Yeah, hi, this is Guadalupe Contreras. I want to start part, let me see, not 15, it's part 16. Yeah, it'll be part 16. Yeah, okay. And the one I'll be, speaking on is Fairfax Road, you know that? Fairfax Road, and then about the Grim Reaper, right? My cousin said that he's seen that Grim Reaper. I'm thinking about it now. And then the cat in the on the bed in their home, you know that right there. And then the doll, right? And and my cousin's bed, her eyes moving. I'll be speaking about that right there. Well, it all started. It was back in. Let me see. It was back in. What was it? 70s, late 70s, I think. Yeah, that my cousin. He was walking down the road. It was a real foggy night. About 2 in the morning. The fog, would come down Lamont like clouds, It looked like London, but without the lampstands at the corner, right? And you could hear, because people walk, whoever walked on there at night, it was so quiet, And with the mist in the air from the rain, because scented out, smelled, all the wood, that, rotten wood, around there, the trees that were old, that's the way Lamont looked, the leaves would hang down like, long witch's hair or something. From far away, you could see like Gestalt's theory. You know how you see something from far away and it looks like something else, but when you get closer to it, it just, visualize a tree, right? long leaves, you know what I mean? Excuse me. Anyways, Moses was, again, no names, right? He was coming home, my cousin, and he got to the corner of Winter Lane, and he heard, something dragging on the road, like chains and stuff, you know what I mean? And he looked like that, and he looked, and he said, no way, man. And he looked, and he said that he seen the Grim Reaper, It was a guy, right, that holding a knife like that, right? Skinny pole, and then a knife that came down like that. A whacker, I forgot the name of it. And then he had a hood over him, with black. And he wasn't too far, he could, it was about, it was close, And then after that, he was walking towards him. And then he was holding a chain, a chain. He was dragging it. That was weird, right? And he wasn't far, that? It wasn't far. He was so close that he could tell, he could tell almost the color of his eyes. During the dark, And I go, how do you know his eye color? Because he said that in the area right here, it lit up. You know that? And he said that it was a man that, you know what I mean? And that, you know what? And he told my cousin, he goes, I'm coming for you. Wow, man. My cousin just took off running home. And he was standing at the corner. My cousin went at the corner ready for his house. A Baker and Winter Lane. And he just lived like, 3 houses down. Took off running, And then, that's what happened. And then a year later he died. I don't know. Well, my cousin, what we find out, in theory of the atoms, right? Atom theory, right? That physics, it plays with the Gestalt theory, that? you know, what you're thinking about. And because he was intoxicated too, he admitted, he goes, you know what, I was on, you know, some, you know, he was intoxicated, right? And, you know, he was, at night he was feeling good, you know. So by what he was thinking of and the illusions of, you know, what he was on, and, you know, that right there, right, you know, you could go by, well, he was just, you know, hallucinating, right, you know. And then, but speaking about, you know, Ouija boards, you know, the Ouija, it comes from, well, the reason why I'm quoting this here, it's research. That's all it is, okay? It's nothing about, you know, speaking about demonism, spiritism. That's not it, all right? You know, if you don't understand that, don't even look at this, all right? Don't judge it. You know, like my anthropology teacher, you know, said, and I'm going to talk about her. In fact, I'm going to tell you something, all right? You know that? What you need to be very careful about people that are explaining stuff to you, because don't disrespect the spirits, man. I'm telling you right now, you know. First of all, I'll explain about her. That way it'll make a tie, you know, to you. Do not be judgmental. If you are, you know, don't see the vid, please, you know. Because it's best like that, you know what I mean? You know, just the way it is here in New York, you know what I mean? Whatever you put on your grill in the morning, what you're going to be eating at night, man. It's the way it is, man, you know? So I would say, look, in this vid right here about this stuff, it's just research. It's not talking about demonism. That's not it, okay? That's a difference, all right? So if, you know, what you're going to rationalize just out, you know what I mean? Look, my teacher, anthropology class, she said this. She goes, look, I will never disrespect any cosmology ever in my life. Cosmology is religion, you know, all types what people believe in. And what she said was this. She goes, I never believed in the witchcraft, spiritism. You know, I thought it was a fugazi, right? You know, that's it. You know what I mean? You know, I thought it was a fugazi, man. You know, placebo, not real. You know what I mean? Until I was doing my dissertation in anthropology and witchcraft, voodoo. Oh my God, man! And telling us, right? She had a watery eyes. And as a professor in school, you're just, because I'm a professor, you know what I mean? As a professor, you know, you got to give the respect what you study. If you don't, you'll learn how to do it too, you know what I mean? Here's what happened. She disrespected what she was studying, and voodoo, you know. And so she got up to there, she goes, oh, so here's a doll, right? So I'm gonna get needles in me. You know, and so they told her, okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll show you our practice. And sure enough, you know what? They put needles in a doll, and she couldn't even breathe. You put one in her throat, the doll's throat, she couldn't breathe. You put one, and he got a fire, a lighter. You start putting it under the doll. She was screaming and crying and went to the hospital. She was on fire. And there was smoke coming out of her hair and her skin. The doctors couldn't help her. They go, and they were saying, did you go to that town? I'm not going to say which one, where, you know what I mean? And she was, yeah, I'm a professor, that's my teaching, and I was making fun of my assignment. Ooh. You know, all they know is that it was a, not making fun, it was a lesson for her to respect, you know, cosmology, anthropology, you know what I mean? And oh my God, man, I would never do that as well. Now, with Ouija, right? My cousin, he gets the board, right? No respect, you know? He told me he didn't. He respected it. He got it. Started making fun of it. You know what I mean? Playing with it with his friends, you know. And you know what he asked it, man? He said, "Am I gonna die?" And he says, "Yeah." You know, and he says, "Soon?" He goes, "Yeah." You know, it goes, "Yes." And he goes out, he sees the Grim Reaper, and a year later he's gone. All right, but here's the thing. The Ouija started in Egypt, right? And the way we use it now is different than then. And so they have their way of, you know, doing it, you know. If you want to know, you know, just go on the internet and find the root of Ouija, right? And it'll show you, you know, the roots are in Egypt. You know, and the way they do it now is because that arrow, that thing that you put your hand on and it's supposed to move to alphabet, why alphabet? You know, you'll learn, you know, that once you do the research. You know, that it was spoken of a pharaoh. You'll learn more deeper in the research. Pharaoh, right? That's how they made communications. You know, to each god had a certain, that's the number of gods, the alphabet. Each god, you know what I mean? Gods meaning demigods, not the real God. The real God has nothing to do with that. These are false gods, you know? Not, you know, the God of the world, you know, God that made everything, the creation of God, you know, of the main God. No, these are demigods, you know? False meaning that, you know what, not the truth of, you know, humanity. That's what I mean by false. You got to understand what false means. It goes into communication, you know, degree of theory, you know, communication, you know, what's false? False, you know. It goes back to Homer. I'm not talking about the false here, you know, of here in class, you know, in dictionary false. That's different. So anyways, it just stick to it right here, okay? So it goes back to that, you know. So after he disrespected, sure enough, he died, you know. And here's the thing, is this, you know, wow, it's really sad, you know. When I was in school studying, you know, well, my anthropology teacher, she was my teacher, you know, and our assignment was that, you know, spiritual photography, right? Oh man, I said, you know what? I said, oh man. I said, ever since I stepped into this class, right, my ice cream, man, in fact, I feel like eating ice cream. I think I'm gonna go take a break, bro. You know what? Oh man, I think I'm gonna stop this, man. I don't, oh man, I can't even talk. Because I'm getting the same feeling what she's feeling then, you know. You guys don't ever disrespect the gods, you know, like that. Because the main God has a name, right? And look in the Bible, you know. Why Bible? Bible was related to 66, right? Okay. You know, yeah, why did God use 66 books for? Why? You know what I mean? And why put in there who's what? You know, all these books. I'm not here to talk about the Bible. That's not it. But you know what? Here's the thing, though. Is this though? In there, it quotes that he made these ones that are all with all this evil and all this stuff like that, right? They come from where he's at, the main one. You know what I mean? In the old days, they called him El. God's name was El, the real God. You know what I mean? And they called him a destruction, because when you said El, his name, wherever you were at. Now remember the Adam? You're over here, and you're over here, right? That talked about in the other, you know, vid. You're over here like that, and you're speaking about him. You could, boom, something happens to you. You die. Do the research. It's in there. You could not say God's real name and live. No. Do the research. Churches don't speak about that. You know what? You know, I'm talking about you know, having 12 degrees here, man, you know what I mean? I love school so much. And in church, right, it's more dramatics, you know, bunch of dramatics, right? You know what I mean, man? You know, bunch of dramatics, man. Anyways, look, I'm just saying, I'm not putting nobody down or nothing here. This is it right here. That, you know, the religion, they have their own thing. I respect that. But what I mean by dramatics and everything, you know, you want to know about dramatics, just look at it, make your opinion, you know. But I'm talking about this, the feeling that I feel right now. I have the same feeling, and I feel like shutting this video down. I think I might, man. Oh man, I don't feel good now. You know what I mean that I don't feel good is that happiness, you know, peace, you know, you feel kind of like irritable, you know what I mean? Something around, you know. And what we found out whenever that we were studying these entities, you know, like spiritual photography, that was my assignment. And then the roots of what she studied, what was her assignment, she gave it to me, right? She got voodoo, you know what I mean? Wait, man, well, no. She goes, you gotta do it because I know your brain. He goes, I know that you'll do the right thing. And look at this, I'm gonna tell you right now that you don't want to go into the practice of it, no. This is just entertainment purposes, right? You know what I mean? Theory, that's it, theory. Some of the students, you know what? They died in class. They died. Serious. And that's why, you know, I don't want to talk about it, you know. They died, you know, from the assignment because, you know why? They stepped over. It was made like, you know, they were on the way and they had an accident. And I'll tell you about the other class too. You know, what happened, you know, with a connection to the Harvey Milk, you know, movie, right? You know, that movie right there. I was in the play, you know, with my teacher. You know that, you know, I'm not gonna say the name. It was in a theater class. I love her and everything, you know. I love her to death. You know, she helped me out to get, you know, past, you know, theater. That was one of my degrees. And from anthropology, a connection is this, that whenever that we were doing practicing the play, you know, Harvey Milk, you know, play, students died. Yeah, one died, two students died. They went to go see, right, the play, you know, the incident where it happened in San Francisco, okay? While they were there, right, they seen where Harvey got killed, and then the mayor, you know, he got killed, right? And Dan, the guy, you know, the guy that said he had a lot of Twinkies, that's why he did it. They say that play was cursed forever. Everybody that tried to make that play, somebody died in the play. And I know if I would have went over there, if I would have continued with that play, I know, man, I wouldn't have been alive. And I didn't tell my instructor why I couldn't. Something told me, if you open your mouth, up to today, she's angry at me, and I don't blame her, you know, but she still gave me an A for the class. She goes, there's something wrong. And she goes, I'm going to leave it open for the rest of your life till you come back and tell me. And I talked to her, I go, well, man, I had to go to Colombia that day, somewhere else, you know. I couldn't do it, you know. I couldn't, and that's why I didn't even call you. You know what? No, I did call her. I'd say, no. I said, I can't make the play, you know, instructor, I can't. I don't want to say the name, you know. I had a bad feeling. Something told me, don't get into that play. Don't go over there to San Francisco to see it. We were in Bakersfield College, you know. Mm. And, you know, to me, that play was not respected, you know. We were not respecting that play. Because the character they gave me was the psychiatrist, you know. And then my not best friend, but friend in the class, he played the person on the skates, you know, the African American. And then the bailiff was a friend, you know, that played it. He passed away too. He died. The other person died. See, I don't want to say no names, right? But they passed away. And this was, you know what, during that time too, when I had the anthropology class the same week, you know, that I had the same feeling from there, you know, and check this out too. That same semester, I'm checking the time, how much we got, 9 minutes. From that time point, right, I had a class, you know, and I was learning photography, you know, because I was taking, you know, the photography, you know, anthropology, you know, spiritual photography with voodoo, you know, that. And I said, you know what, theory only, that's it for class, that's all. Get my grade, get my degree in anthropology. That's one of my degrees. And that was the only course I was able to take because other courses weren't, you know, accepted. They were too filled up. And I didn't want to take it, you know. I said, man, I'm not going to wait another year, you know, to graduate, you know. So that's why I took it. So I took it, but, you know, my conscience said, okay, I don't want to, you know, get into the practices. The students that got into the practices, they died. And then going to the theater, you know, I just had a bad feeling from there. My spiritual class, right? Check this out. I made a photo, right? And I didn't make it. It was a theory of seeing somebody's body. And then using the body, you know, from the organs, right? You know, I used the ancient, you know, theory of seeing a person's future, what they used to do, you know, that the Indians, who was it, Anasazi Indians, right? You know, that the culture that disappeared, you know. I was into that, not into that, but I did the research on that, and then from the Mayans as well. And then, so right before, you know what, I gave my picture shot, I made the theory of that, and I put it in the stomach like that. And then what happened was, my teacher took it off. He excuse me, some fly. My instructor, he took off, you know, my picture. And after that, I go, why did you do that? And then he quoted that it wasn't relevant, you know, to what I was presenting, but he didn't hear the rest of, you know, my presentation, right? And then he apologized because he said that he didn't take it off. He didn't want to say that in front of the class. He goes, no, man, but it was here. And then, and after that, after the class was over, right, it appeared. I go, what's going on, man? What the, oh, man. And he was scared, man. He goes, you know what? Oh, man, he goes, man, there's something in our room. You know what? It's just scaring the, you know what, out of me. He goes, what the heck is going on here, Guadalupe? And I told him, well, I'm in the anthropology, you know, stuff, doing that. And my class, you know what, they just died doing that right there. And then now over here, you know, with you doing this, You know, he goes, all right, look at, you know what? Let's just close the book on this. I'll give you an A and just don't tell nobody. That's it. Okay, just forget it. And so we went. You know, we just and from that day on, right? He was like, he always came to see what I'm doing. I said, man, I go, teach, what's going on? And he goes, man, I don't know, just. He goes, it's not you making it. I'm telling you, it's something around you. And I go, I know. Hey, I am not lying, you guys. I said, you know what the, oh my God, man, what's going on, man? I go, and I told my teacher, right? She goes, she started crying. She goes, something opened up. And I go, oh my God, man. So what I had to do was that I I said, hey, could I stop my project? And then she goes, yeah, just stop it. And I'll give you an A, it's all right. And then after that, but you know what? And then I go home, the project was finished. And I go, whoa, wait a minute, man, no, man. I go, no way, man. And I showed her, she goes, she was, you know what? She goes, oh my God. She didn't know what to do. You know what? She goes, she called her professors, right? And they came over. And they, you know, start talking to her and everything. And they were saying, who is he, you know? And they see my work. They go, man, they said, could we have this? Yeah, well, yeah, take it all. I just gave it away. You know what I mean? I let them have it. Up to today, you know what? I couldn't check into it. You know what? I let it go. You know what I mean? It's like this, okay? There's a movie called The Little Black Book, right? You know, I remember it, you know? And what happened was, you know, a person bought a book, he read it, you know, and in the book, it's the author's making stuff that happened, you know, to people. It hasn't happened yet. You know what I mean? And man, I tell you, man, my teacher goes, it's the little black book, you know, and the other professors too. They go, boy, we don't know. They knew, right? They said, you know what, look, you're a student here and you don't have experience into this, but why is this happening? You know what I mean? So, remember the atoms, right? I told you, right? And the other, if you see the other vids associated to that, man, you gotta go back. See the other, that's all I'm gonna say, man. You know what I mean? It's just, how many minutes? I'll keep my glasses on. Let's see that. Keep taking them off. But you guys, yeah, that's, I'm telling you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off. This was, supposed to be speaking about the Fairfax, right? Road in part 16, you know. 28 minutes already, man. In part 17, I'll continue, okay? What I didn't speak about. You know, I just got off on this. You know, how I said, you know, these stories, they're random. I'm not putting them in order here. You know, I'm speaking them out to my brain. You know what I mean? And so that's what I had to do. I stopped it. She gave me an A. You know, he said he took it off the teacher. He gave me an A. It appeared back with the theater, right? The teacher still has it open. You know what? Meaning that she wants to know what happened, you know? I never contacted her and told her, you know? No. Hey, man, so, yeah. Remember the thing in the middle about the atoms I told you about on the other vids, you know? It's associated to that. And I'm telling you, oh my God, there's just so much that happened to me in Bakersfield College and Lamont, California. That's why I'm sharing this, you know? It's like an intriguing thing that never stops, man. It's a lot more, man. My school years, oh man, it is something, man. I ain't lying, it is something. But yeah, anyways, it's going on 30 minutes here. I'm gonna stop, you know, and I'm gonna start part of 17. Okay, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, you guys take care. Okay.